Friday? Okay, on Friday I talked about an extra credit opportunity, which is vocabulary. So if you write the definitions for the vocabulary words on the test and the quadratic formula, turn this in by tomorrow before the test, 5 points extra credit. So you guys can work on that also if you didn't do that on Friday. So first we'll do this veteran description and then the review and then vocabulary. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up some facts about veterans and you write down three, since we're in math class, we're doing numerical facts. Okay, so this information was put out in 2023 from census.gov. That's our source. And this says in 2023 there were 16.2 million veterans in the United States. That's 6% of our population. So for every 100 people, 6 of them have served in the military. And they have their source there too. Look how they have their source like directly under there. That's great. The number of veterans is declining every year. Why do you guys think that is? Why would our veterans be dying though? Yeah, but shouldn't we need? Don't we need more and more? Aren't young people signing up every year? I believe we need less soldiers now than we used to. So a lot of our veterans are veterans from World War II, and they're just dying of old age. And then the size of our military isn't as big now as it used to be. So it's declining, I think, because a lot of our veterans come from wars from a really long time ago. But we still have a lot of veterans. Of the 16.2 million, 1.7 million are female. So that's 10% of the veteran population is female, 90% male. Oh yeah, this is it. Gosh, I had an article that really told me about which war all the veterans have served in. That was a cool one. But I landed on this one because of all the numbers. 0.8% of the veterans in 2022 came from World War II. 4% came from the Korean War. 33 of our current veterans served in Vietnam. 24 in the first Gulf War, and 26 in the second Gulf War, which I'm confused about this second Gulf War statement from 2001 or later. I think they're renaming wars than how they originally had it, because I don't remember hearing in 2001 about a second Gulf War. I think they called it different things, and they're renaming it. So anyway, how many of you guys have a veteran in the family? So we got about 4. And this says 6% of our whole population is veterans. So, okay, Alex, did you raise your hand? Who do you know? Who's in your family? Both of them. Okay, and where did your dad serve? Air Force. Okay. And did he ever go overseas? Where did he go? Oh. Okay, and do you know his job? What his job is? Yeah. This is before you were born? Yeah. Where about you, Josh? My uncle. And where did he serve? He was a Marine. Oh, Marine. And did he ever go overseas? I don't know. Not sure. What about your grandfather, Alex? Oh. And did he serve overseas? Yes. Do you know where? Right. And Bailey, did you put your hand up? Okay, who do you know? Both of my grandpas. Grandpas. And when did they serve? Do you know? One of them was in the Korean War, and the other one was in Iraq. Okay. I have heard. I think 2 out of the people who spoke in first period said the Korean War. And then Iraq, I think, might be considered a Gulf War. Does anybody know that? Maybe history book? No. Okay, Aubrey, who do you know?
My great uncle was in the Vietnam War.
Vietnam War. And do you know his job? What about you? Do you know your grandfather's job? No. Who else raised a hand? They know a veteran. Okay. So here's some stats about races that are veterans, different distribution of race serving in the military. If you don't have three yet. Oh, here's one about the aging veterans. 26% are 75 and older, and only 8% are younger than 35. So like current veterans. And then I kind of did a deep dive on this other. This tells you a lot of demographics. There's a lot to be said about who serves in the military, and for some people it's a really great career, and for some people they're not made for it. So my husband's a veteran. He served in Afghanistan. He actually, I'm bringing this up because you should know there's lots of careers in the military. He served in an engineering unit. So right after September 11th, they were called to Afghanistan to build up an Air Force base. So it was a bunch of like construction. So when they first got there, they were in like canvas tents, and then their job was just to build. And so he was in charge of helping get internet in Afghanistan for the U.S. military. So, and then they were there for 20 years. So they built this huge almost city in Afghanistan. My husband wasn't there that long, but it got really built up. And then like 2 years ago, we left. All the Americans left, and they left it to the Afghan army to work in. So there's lots of different careers. This is what it looked like in Afghanistan. It's really beautiful, these mountains. These are the people leaving. What's that? It's an Air Force base. So, tons of airplanes coming in and out. Yeah, I think there is a strategy about the mountains. Right, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. There is so much military strategy with setting up bases next to mountains. But that there were already Russians there. There's like a whole timeline about this area in Afghanistan. The Soviet Union was using it, and then Americans came in and they're like, we need to use it, and then they worked together. This was in 2002. They worked together to build it up, and there was like soldiers there from so many different countries working together to build it up to fight the terrorist activity there. And then the U.S. pretty much took it over, and then there was a lot of talk about how many taxes we were spending to have people there, and people were like, we got to do something. We're spending too much money on the military. So they were like, well, let's shut it down, and then they can put their money on other places. So now it's been shut down. So anybody want to add anything about a talk about veterans? Veterans Day? Oh, do you guys know of any countries that require people to sign up for the military? Korea. People keep telling me Korea. That must be part of your curriculum. What class do you talk about that in? And it's South Korea, right? Or are we talking North Korea?
South. They made like
No, South Korea is fine.
no,
North Korea is bad.
North Korea is the bad one. The South Korea does have a mandatory conscription.
Mandatory military.
I wrote about it because like some K-pop band got forced into it.
Oh, is that why? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, BTS.
And they had to sign up and go.
Yeah,
They didn't get excused.
no exceptions.
Huh. There shouldn't be exceptions, honestly. I mean, I wonder if like people in medical school are exceptions.
I think the only exception is if you're disabled or seriously injured.
Okay. I wonder if they're military trained doctors. Because during our draft, I think in World War II, when we made everybody sign up, I think people were able to get out of it by going to medical school and say they were going to become doctors, and that was like an essential duty. But I could be wrong. Israel requires everybody, men and women, to serve 2 years in the military, and they do it right after high school, and they all get military training with like the weapons and the tactics and all of that, and then they move on after that with that experience and that training, and then they always have that military ready. So I knew someone from Israel. That's how I knew that. It's not a part of like the academic curriculum, but I'm sure there's more countries than just Israel and South Korea that we know about. But some people say it would really benefit us um, to make high school students or people of a young age somehow do some service for the community. Maybe not necessarily military, but work cleaning up the roads or work maintaining parks or work in schools or things like that to contribute to those public services before they go private.
Why force teenagers to do stuff that you don't force adults to do?
No, I don't mean teenagers. I mean between 18 and 20. So 18 and 19 is teenagers. Those are adults.
Why force 18 to 20-year-olds to do stuff that 70-year-olds don't have to do?
It's not, and I'm not promoting forcing anybody to do anything, but there's just an argument to say, hey, if everybody worked in public service, even if it was the sanitation department, that there would be just more informed individuals about what it takes to run the community, and it wouldn't be like the young people are forced to do it, but it would be like kind of like a part of the education system that we all contribute to how the community is working, you know, kind of like real skills before you go into the job market and support them while they're doing it. So it seems like the community would benefit, and we would all be more knowledgeable about all the work it takes to run the water systems and electricity and everything that works. So yes, yeah, you can go. That's just an idea that people talk about. Even making it optional, but making the program to say, hey, you're not ready for college, you don't know what you want to do, like, you know, maybe you could volunteer for one of these public services and learn more about the community.
I make a whole group of people already volunteer.
I mean, if your argument is why do something, it's because there's always a chance for progress in a positive way. So why not even talk about it or look at it as a possibility? It can't be harmful to talk about. Okay, so here's our review. Again, if you have not submitted and you're done, please go to Big Ideas Math and submit. I'm not promoting it. I'm just starting a conversation. Okay? I'm not trying to say I understand public administration. If that matters. Just a little conversation about serving your country. I think we have enough people signing up for the military that it's not like a desperate need for service. What should we do if we need more people in the military? Okay, what's another idea besides the draft?
Pay them.
Pay them more. Pay them more. That's more how we work in our free market. Is hey, if you want more people to come, and so a lot of people do sign up for the military. Do y'all know why? Voluntarily sign up. The benefits. What are some of the benefits of being in the military?
Isn't it like there's some like healthcare like reductions or stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. All of the people who are veterans, so the 6% of our population, if you've been to combat, you get free health care. Some of the veterans say it's not good enough because some of them have to travel, but we have a VA hospital in St. Pete. So a lot of, if you hear about veterans going to the VA, they're talking about the hospital, they get free health care there. What's another benefit of volunteering for the military? It's really good education. They teach you a lot. It's not college, but if you get assigned to work in submarines, you learn all about submarines. If you get assigned to work on tanks or Hummers, you learn all about auto mechanics. So you learn a lot. Sophia, you had something?
I thought that they, if you were pursuing more time, would pay for like your other education.
Yeah, you get full college scholarship, 4-year college scholarship for volunteering for the military. And then if nowadays, if you don't use it, you can pass it on to your children. So yeah, if you sign up currently and you decide you don't want to go to college, you get a great job in the military, your children can use those college benefits. So we don't need a draft because we're going to give the military the people something that makes it worth it to them to sign up. Yes, I can. Anybody else have anything to add? Since we're sitting in here on a national holiday. Do you guys know where all the JROTC students are? Yeah, there is a Veterans Day parade that always goes through Palmetto, and they're a big part of it. And FFA is there as well. So it's funny to think about a parade with no kids, but it's for the veterans, so it's nice they're still doing it. Okay, so let's look at number 4. Definitely one of the more difficult questions. This is the long method of factoring when a is greater than 1. The 2 here is what makes this method of factoring longer. And right now it's set equal to -30. So the first thing I would want to do is add 30 over. This problem is now set up for factoring. And so normally, if I had to factor, I would say, well, what multiplies to 30 and adds to -17? However, this has the 2 in front. So first I do A times C. 2 times 30 is 60. And so my little table is going to be, instead of what multiplies to 30, I have to find numbers that multiply to 60 and add to -17. This is number 4 for anybody who's still doing number 4. I'll wait and see what you try. So first I would try 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15. Make a whole list.